Hey guys, happy Sunday. Hope everybody is well. I wanted to just say hi and we'll go through some mail that came. And I had a poll up earlier, but thought that I would. Oh, Lennox is here. He may be in the frame shortly. Anyway, I had a poll up because I had, and then provided no context, but when I was prepping for Craft Roulette this week, I actually printed out a bunch of like different card sketches. So that I was thinking initially, oh dear, Lennox, you don't need to give people seasickness. He is like right here. Oh, my camera is really janky. Hang on, let me see if I can't correct that. Sometimes it gets a bit unhappy. How are we? Okay, now it's working. I don't know. It's weird. Like sometimes when the software the camera uses gets a little confused. Anyway, so that's what that was. But then I had a better idea. So I think we'll make a book themed card because I have a lot of book themed stuff I had pulled. Because one of the parameters for Craft Roulette was something like that. Which element is it? I can tell you, I have a whole list that I've been testing markers on. Book club. It's parameter number 6. Perhaps we'll get it. Hello, Lennox. You can simmer down. That would be lovely. Yeah, please don't knock my markers on the ground. That would make me very cranky at you. Oh, there he is. Interestingly, he was like well behaved during Craft Roulette for whatever reason, which we thank him for. He's sitting on my Poke Tool, which is perhaps not optimal, but you know. Hopefully we'll just hang out. But let's get into some happy mail while Lennox is helping us with our happy mail. This has nothing at all to do with crafting, but this is a local small business in Oshkosh that makes wax melts, and they had really good customer service. So just FYI, if you're looking for wax that smells like things, whatever her name is, Jenny Oaks does a fabulous job. Anyway, then we have a card from Biddy Penny that came with, so I guess I should back up and say, I just caused a craft avalanche. Go me. So this was the thing I actually picked up. It's the page turner, and I really like the images of the dudes reading. But there's also some really cool like card catalog and library card. This one I kind of want to use for our project tonight as the background because I really like it. Anyway, so I bought that, but with it came 2 free gifts. I got her stamp set, which I didn't own. It's got some really nice reading quotes, so we might need to pull that in. I'm making a not Valentine's Day card for a good friend of mine. Oh, hey, Gloria, how are you? And hello, Danny. Hopefully, Alyssa is not sitting on your desk on things. Yes. It's funny, people. I actually got a few messages that people were like sad that he didn't cause a disaster on Craft Roulette. He actually caused a disaster, but it was off camera. He was investigating a pile of stuff and caused a craft avalanche. But the good news is, out of that avalanche, I found some really cool masterboards I forgot about. But anyway. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like her stuff. And then she also gave me, well, we can open this. Well, let's look at her card and then we'll take a look at this. She also provided this like huge like goodie bag. So I mean, I think it's really nice because like it's got to just be. And this said, "Good luck on Craft Roulette," which was very cute. This is actually a really fun design because you've got. I mean, these are just basically layers, but they really make this look nice. And there's some stamping of something or another on the background. I'm not sure what they are actually. It's like lace, maybe. Anyway, there's a subtle background stamp on the blue layer. Who knows? Maybe she made the card on stream and you guys know what that is. But let's take a look at the goodie bag she sent. Which, of course, I never expect goodie bags or anything. I just am always... She sent me some samples of her other paper. Let's see how this opens. Here we go. What did I order? I ordered other paper from her. Non-digital paper. But let's see what we have. It looks like we have some book pages, which would be hard, hungry work. I don't know what these are. These actually would be kind of fun for backgrounds too. These would be really nice, actually. Like these would be fun if you just distressed them a little bit. So these have some great potential. Or like just sprayed on them a little with those sprays I haven't touched yet that are in my to-do pile. What else do we have? We have a bookmark. This, I believe, was made with the paper in the pad. Very nice. I didn't know they just had like bookmark things. Let me move that before the cat tries. He thought the tassel was for him. And then we have some library cards. If you remember these from back in the day. Very neat. And I think these are blend map. Not sure what these are from. These are probably from a card game of some sort. It looks like you make words out of them, essentially. And then these, which I thought would be awesome, like if there's ever a actual craft roulette. See if I miss anybody. Yeah, so it's probably really inexpensive because I think she was trying to clear inventory. It's just her name, bittypenny.com. There's probably a link in some video somewhere I did, but she does awesome stuff. And the thing that's cool, the thing I like about her stuff primarily is I have a couple international crafting friends, and most things come out in Digi at some point. Or there are, oh, hey, Cordelia, how are you? You probably know more about this stuff than I do, actually. This reading list is pretty cool. I never had one of these, I don't think. But I did have, wherever I put them, these library cards to actually check out books. Ours were a little bit different in that usually it didn't have an author and title. It was just sort of like, no, it did. They were exactly like this, I guess. Inside the books, at some point we went to barcoding, so it was easier. And we have random papers in a nice Lennox gray. And is there anything in... Oh, there are other things. There's a lot of things in here. There are some little envelopes. These almost look like seed packets. These would be kind of fun. They look like they're self-adhesive, but they wouldn't need to be because you could cut the flap off. But this would be really cool to stamp on and put a mini card in it or something. I mean, you could put a mini card in it and seal it too, but that's really neat. And then there's some washi and sequin. Oh, no, there's more than that. I was like, we must be getting to the end, but no. There's something in here. I'm not sure what the something is. Oh, it's a feather. I don't want to pull that because I'm not sure what it's made out of. Like a distressed feather of some sort. It almost feels metal. Oh, there's an open side and then a not so open side. Wow, that is gorgeous. That is like a metal bookmark. That is really cool. Oh my goodness. This is going to be my bookmark. That is lovely. Anyway, thank you, Bitty Penny, for the tons of awesome stuff. And I think then there's a sequin mix, but there's a little bag in here. So let's see if we can do that. I think There's a little bag inside the big bag that has looks like some kind of die cuts in there, or ephemera pieces. I know she has some of those really cool ephemera books, which I haven't. I need to look into those, but these are, yeah, these are little ephemera pieces. A little heart. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, coffee, cats, and books. I may save this. Maybe we don't need to stamp a sentiment. I think that would work. And my other thing that I might use, I'm going to keep that out. Oh, these are really cool. So these are all little ephemera pieces that are book related. So I don't know. I am. Let me see if I can get all my stuff back together. Yes, I don't think cats need washi tape. Although I'm really happy to get these library checkout cards because those are really cool. Like those would be great as like a journaling thing too. I don't know. Cordelia, if you're still in the chat. Hello, Rebecca. Do you know if you can still get library cards like those? Like, does someone still make them? Because they felt original. Like they didn't feel like they were reproduced or anything. So I saved my little this, and then I guess I will wait. We will do the happy mail, and then we will talk projects. And Lennox is sort of hanging, so he's back to say hello to his fans. I think the first two are Valentine's Day cards, and the others are not. This one is from my mom, so it probably is Snoopy. It is not Snoopy, but it is cute. It has some glitter on it. Sorry, Pam, if you're here. So there's a little glitter. The roses have glitter, like a glitter petal layer, essentially. It says Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, this is from my aunt. Wishing you a happy Valentine's Day. Very cool. And then this one is from my mother, which is probably Snoopy. It is Snoopy. Because my mom's been giving me Snoopy cards since forever, because Snoopy is one of my favorite things. So a happy Valentine's Day. Hello. And Lennox enjoys it. We're going to have to clip you a lot from this stream, because you're doing lots of funny things. We could post it. We could totally post it on your Not channel. Hello, thank you very much. Always good to see Craft Roulette. Probably Mary. It might be Mr. Wheel. Who knows? Some member of the extended universe. Thank you very much for having me on the show. It was super fun. I don't know. It was really cool. I don't know. I think most people here caught me. And sadness. Cordelia says that library checkout cards are probably not still a thing. Although I'm sure someone reproduces them on eBay, because that's what I've seen a lot of recently, of like, scanned and reproduced ephemera that looks realistic. Anyway, our next card is probably a Craft Roulette person who has lovely handwriting. We will see what it is. It is a card, I think. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at all that glitter and sparkle and magic. And this is the Craft Roulette die set, which we played a lot with around the fall. But basically, if you go to my Craft Roulette gallery page and look for the one, there's a one with the Guy Crafter and a bunch of other stuff. But this is really cool. So we have all of so this is actually from the Craft Roulette stamp set, all these colors, random, whoa, all that stuff. And that's really cool. That is a really awesome card. I'm going to have to post this card because this is just so good. Looking forward to seeing you on Craft Roulette. Very cool. I was hoping I'd get some Craft Roulette Valentines just because, like, it's such a great community of crafters. But anyway, I'm going to definitely have to photo these and post them in the Craft Roulette group. This one is from actual Craft Roulette. like the craft roulette. I guess I could show you the craft roulette because I think it's a PO box. Yeah, like the official craft roulette mailing robots. Is it from roulette? Who knows? Oh, it's a dust bunny. Oh, hey, that's so cool. I have these, and I don't think we've ever played with them together. But anyway, I love the Trinity dust bunnies. I'm getting glared at by this one. He does not like the fact that I like animals that are not him. Am I crooked? I am sorry. I'm a little crooked. There we go. But this is really cute. So we have some vellum on the background. Again, a really nice sentiment. Although, oh, that's so cute. Anyway, love this card too. There are a lot of. Oh, and this is from the new. So this is from a new swap. If you were remember that Danny of Danny's Dreams, who was in the chat, she has her current group, which is this or that, which is sort of a free for all group. But there's also a. I love the Dust Bunnies. Oh, you should. So I also own them and haven't used them for anything. Maybe we should do that. We'll both use Dust Bunnies this week on Craft Roulette. Assuming I can. I know where I have this one, the one with T. I definitely have the die that goes with that. I need to figure out where the other. I think the other ones are in my to do. Yes, hi. So this is anyway. I am really off topic today. So the C swap group was a group started by people who were in Danny's swap group, but then that swap group got closed, and we will see what we have. This, I believe, our swap was friend / Valentine / something or another. This is from our friend Brenda, who is often in the chat. And ooh, that is fantastic. So we'll have to case this and say, I think this is the Pink and Main. Their faux ink, alcohol ink pad, or I should say one of them. I think this is the original. There was one that came out a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah, he is very cute. He's behaving today, so that's good. Anyway, I like this. This is a really neat. I like the diagonal too, because you don't see that. Because like I think when we use squares, we all want everything to be square. And then there's a nice use of some scraps here and a nice message inside. And there we go. Fun fact, I mailed out my swap card today. And so after being scolded for not using my cute little Taylor Expressions monogram stamp, I did a really good job. So it was a top folding card, right? So I stamped it upside down on the wrong side of the card. So, or it's still on the back. It's just upside down, but I assume no one would really mind too much. And then this is from Paula Rice, also a Craft Roulette, very famous person. Well, I don't know. A Craft Roulette moderator who has been in the chat for a very long time. I like how you roll. That's cute. Then we have to figure out, ooh, this is fancy. This is fancy. It's like a folio, but it's a card. That is, wow, that is neat. Just for you. So this is neat. Let's figure out, we need to figure out how to make these. But this is a really cool interactive card. You're sweet. I think there's something in here, right? There is. Here we go. This one says Valentine coupon. This is really fun. You might have to case this a little bit. I really like this as a design. Thanks for being our Valentine, Paula Rice. So I think this is made from single-sided paper because you can see the back of it. Lynx is helping. But you basically, I think you have to fold these, glue this, then cut it, and then you make pockets out of it. I don't know. This is a really cool card. This is one of the neatest cards. Anyway, very cool. It's like, is it a card? Is it a folio? Is it a what or wherever? Anyway, I thought that I know, indeed, isn't it? It's amazing. But I think once you figured out how to do it, like, so the red is a single piece that you would, let's see how, this is 4 inches, this is 4 inches, and this is 2 so it's 2 inches. Lennox, please don't. Can you scooch, sir? Yeah, just simmer down somewhere. There we go. Thank you. So this is 2 inches, this is 4 inches, this is 4 inches. So, and then there's pattern paper. But I think this main piece would go together pretty straightforward. I think it would be figuring out the dimensions on your pockets, which would be, so it's a 1/4 inch less, but this is almost 7. This is 6 3/4 and 6 3/4. And then this is just cut in half. I think this is by 6. Anyway, this might be worth casing because that's a really cool design. Anyway, I digress. So I thought I'd show you one of my favorite cards, and part of it is sort of selfish because I wanted to make one of these for a friend of mine who conveniently likes books, which is why I bought the Bitty Penny paper. But basically, what I want to make is a box card, and a bunch of people make great box card dies. But if you want a more decorative look, but I thought I'd show you how to do it if you don't necessarily want to do all that. Assuming I can figure out where I put my paper trimmer. Oh, here it is. Yay. My desk is something of a disaster now at post Craft Roulette, as you might imagine. But basically, to make the back of it, you're going to make a couple folds. And this is just junk, scrap paper. So basically, you're going to make a little, like a wing fold, and then you can do the same thing on the other side. This is not to scale, obviously. But then it will be freestanding like a box card. And then all you need to do is put a bridge across it. And the neat thing about these is that they kind of require math, but not really, because when it's flat, one side will be flat, one side will be folded over. So like this dimension needs to be 5.5 inches, and this needs to be 4 if you want to do one landscape, which I thought would be fantastic. I want to use some of the Bitty Penny stuff, but I also had some Scrappy Boy ephemera. I think will work really well, because the neat thing about these is you kind of hang things off the side. So, and I do have the paper that goes with this, but we'll see. I might use some of this and some of the Bitty Penny or all the Bitty Penny. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll do something bookish and fun. Oh, it's interesting. I almost adopted, I don't know, but I also almost adopted a female cat. Ironically, well, maybe not ironically, if I can get his butt off of it. So she actually looked kind of like this, except she was white, not gray. Hi, that's fine. You know, that's not a cat toy. It's just felt. Anyway, now he's all in the mood. But and please don't eat my mug thingy. Oh, now you're gonna sniff my mug thingy. Great. That's not a cat toy. Hopefully he will simmer down a bit. But anyway, her name was Marmalade, and she was white and black and orange, and was super cute. Anyway, She also had a really tuxy. I mean, kind of like Lennox. She had sort of the classic tuxy personality of just sort of being chill most of the time and mischievous other parts of the time. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Our light has been restored. The dangers of setting up the stream deck were that like now he can push buttons and doesn't understand how they work. Anyway, since I've already rambled for like half of our time, let me grab some paper and start getting a card together. But the good news is since I don't actually have to color anything, it probably won't take forever. I haven't seen her here, but Shanna is streaming after me, so this will redirect to Shanna at whatever top of the hour, whatever time you're in. I thought if we're doing books, we should do a lovely brown. Oh, and the other thing about this card is you basically need to put a panel on the back if you want to write anything, or a pocket, or an envelope, or whatever. Right? Like you can be extra fancy. Hey, Linda. I think our snow is mostly stopped, but we got, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 inches. But it's supposed to get stupid cold next week, so I'm not looking forward to that. It's supposed to be like -3 tomorrow morning and then worse Tuesday. So I don't know. I guess I'll probably have to work from home Tuesday or take a vacation day and like acquiesce to the fact that like I'm pretty bad at working from home. I mean, just from a not in like not in a awful way, not in an awful way, but just in the fact that I am like not super great at concentrating when there's fun things around. So we'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. Anyway, so I am going to cut this to 4¼ and then we'll figure out how wide we need this. Unless I just cut this wrong. We'll see. Yeah, so normally we just need to figure out what our dimensions are. So basically, I'm going to start at 5.5. Well, I'm just going to score this actually. So I believe what I want to do is score it as 1 inch, 2 inches, skip 3.5 inches, and then score it twice more, and then cut off whatever's left. But you can do whatever, like you can mess with these dimensions really easily. But this in my brain is the easiest way to do it. And it's been a busy weekend, so I'm just going to do that. The only thing I could do to really mess this up is, yeah, forget to which blade does what. So anyway, so this I then want to take to 3.5, which is the same as just taking this to 5.5, basically, because that's essentially what we're doing. But then I will need to be a little more careful. There we go. So this is 3.5 by 4¼ So the panels will be a little bit weird, but just so then this was at 5.5. Going to bring it to 6.5 and score it, and then bring it to 7.5 and score it. And then bring it to 8.5 and cut it off. And I think we will be correct. You can, of course, do the math ahead of time. And this is not by any means any sort of a new card. I will actually save this because I think we'll need something to add our sentiment on in a moment. Yeah, so I didn't need to fold this last one, so I can just go and cut it off. This is sort of our inside piece, and then yeah, so we have this if we need another extra piece. And I'm not sure what I want my bridge to be yet, so I'm not going to cut that until we figure out how the card kind of lies down. Uh-oh. Sir, you have plunged us into darkness. And then I did it too. Okay. I think Linux has had enough of me, so there we go. So I'm just going to. So this is what it's going to look like when it is stood up, and then when it folds down, it will look like that. So I want to use some. I definitely want to use some of the bitty pen. I really want to use this piece on the back here. I think that's going to look super neat. Yeah, no, he wants me to focus on him. Also, like, there's some really cool stuff on the back of these. I really hate the fact that I have to cut this up. I do like the card catalog. I think that would be a very, like, if we have our cute guys reading, I think that the card catalog would be cool. So I need this to be 3 1/4. I can grab my little trimmer for that. And there's no like hard edge here, so and I'm making this 3 1/4 because this whole thing is 3 1/2, and then I will cut this to 4 because that's how that works. We do have some neat stuff. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with these side panels though. So I mean, this will basically be our back piece. I want to trim this off. I don't love how we have just this little bit of. There's this little I don't know what you'd call it. The highlight in between the drawers. It was kind of bugging me. So I'm just gonna shave that off. I think that'll look cool, especially if we have the guy with the let's see how we feel about these guys. I really like the artwork. This guy I don't love because he's kind of looking away from the center of the card. Like, I think he would work better like here or something, except that doesn't make sense considering he's like much smaller than the card catalog. We have this guy who's bringing books. I like that a lot. I like this guy a lot. Although we will have to pull him in a little bit just so that works out. But I like him. So I like the idea of having like one guy back there and one guy sort of coming into frame, and then we can put our bridge here and then figure out probably stamp out one of those bitty penny sentiments. So I like that. What were our other options? We have a bunch of random books, which is great if we need that. This guy reading, it would work on the bridge. I don't love it as much. And then we have more of the same guy, same guys. This guy is kind of cool too. Like that I kind of like. Because we could do that and then grab one of the random books somewhere. Unless I think there's only one. I think only the one guy is looking. So I think we can basically like do this on our bridge and then have a room in the middle here for a sentiment. And I think that'll work out. I am liking that. Let me see what I am missing. Yeah, it is a good day to snuggle and not go anywhere. I agree. When it is super duper cold. I'm definitely debating it. Like if it's really supposed to be super cold, I may take the day off to craft because that's always kind of fun. Let's see. Now there's kind of a. Now we could continue with more of the card catalog. But I'm thinking, let's look at the other paper options we have to see if there's something I like better. This one had this houndstooth is really neat, but let's look at the bitty penny papers a little bit more. Yeah, I like the green and I like the houndstooth. But we have kind of a brownish color scheme, so I feel like something a little more brownish would be more straightforward. Now we could use some of these library cards. We could actually use our actual library cards. That's a good option too. Um, but let's see what we can see what other things we have in our paper, which I managed to wreck the packaging on already, but that's okay. So we have these ones that we looked at. We have some nice feathers. I do like this greenery. Like if there's and those are all the same. That's kind of a big scene that I'd rather not chop up. Um, this might work. Like this would be cool to like do the bookends, if you will. I like this. I particularly like the actually. I like some of these florals too. Then we have some cut aparts. This is my favorite cut apart, so I'd prefer to not lose these. Oh, that's too bad there. We have a cat. This might be cool. Like if we cut from like 3/4 inches from this side, and we have sort of the book on either side. I kind of like that as an idea. We have we have faux book pages we could use, and that would be that idea I like too. We could actually use the actual book pages as well, but I'm kind of liking these faux book pages. Let me put my paper out of the way because I think what we could do is, yeah, I like the idea of like that, especially this side of the paper. So let's see how that works out. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. What did we miss? Yeah, these are really cool. I mean, not to be an enabler and say like go buy your paper, but these orange ones are pretty sweet. Actually, these orange ones, that might be a better idea though, because there's a lot of orange in like there's oranges in it, like having him sit where with some orange, like trimming out the like doing 4 inches and then with the foliage. I kind of like that. I won't lie. Let's try that. That's a good idea, Blossom. What do I? So I don't need much here. I only really need. I'm doing this the wrong way. I think I only really need about 1.5 inches, if math serves me, because it's going to be 3/4 inch on either side because these are, yeah, that thing, 1 inches, and that will give us a lot of the orange, especially if we cut it. Because I only need 4 inch. Yeah, I think this is gonna be cool. Okay, so we have that, and then we just need to cut this to 3/4 inch, which is a real pain to do on this trimmer. So hopefully we won't cut this crooked because that would make me sad. Okay. Or I mismeasured. Did I mismeasure this? Yeah. So I mismeasured this. Let's try that again. The measurements on this particular trimmer are sometimes kind of weird. Anyway, and then I did the thing I said to not do. We are. I'm not throwing out any of these scraps because I think these are going to be really fun to collage with. So anyway, we are not in it wasting paper too badly. So this is 4 inches again. Let's do the thing I said and then did wrong. So this is 1 inch. So this is. Let me just do it on the other trimmer where I think I know what I'm doing. I like this trimmer for this kind of thing because, if you put this at, or I just miscut this. right? So you can basically say, like, we know that's 3/4 of an inch because there are lines on the other side. And then, oh, then I did it correctly. So I like this trimmer because it has lines on the other side, or any trimmer with lines on the other side for working on these like smallish things. Oh, did you? The cat with the crown? How fun. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but if you're gonna waste money, if you're gonna buy a bunch of paper you may not need, like Bitty Penny's papers are really good. Oh, I am liking this. This is gonna be cool. Okay. And then we can probably use that piece we mangled for the bridge. Because for a bridge, we can decide how big our. I think the deciding factor on how big I want the bridge is probably the sentiment, but we'll see. I may change my mind on that actually. Anyway, I'm thinking I want it to be mostly grounded, so we'll see. An inch, maybe an inch and a half. Actually, an inch and a half would be kind of like that. I think that would be good because I don't mind covering up the bottom here because it's mostly that green color I don't really necessarily need. So I'm just going to do an inch and a half, which means we will probably use that. And then I'm going to go 5.5 because when this is folded, it is the whole width of the card. And it also will help hold everything together. I'll just take these off for the moment. And the one thing that I have screwed up with these cards before is when you glue this, you definitely want to like fold it flat and glue it so that you actually glue it correctly. Because if you don't align it, if this winds up not being lined up, what happens is the card won't fold flat, and then it basically won't fit in an envelope. Which, if you're going to hand deliver it, doesn't matter. But if you're not, it's kind of a pain. So I think I'm going to use some of this. I think I'm just going to cut a piece off of there because I like the vibe of this paper. Actually, we could let's be a little quirky and leave the top. So I'm just going to cut it here. And then I'm just going to flip this around, and I know I need an inch and a quarter. And hopefully this is 5.5 or more. I think we're fine though. So we can make this the entire 5.5. Oh, this is 6x8, so we're fine. Or we can mat it. I think I kind of like the idea of it being the whole width. And then if we don't like that, we can always trim it later. And then we have too much to glue, but that's fine. So I think we'll do this, and then we'll basically have our dude sitting on it. So this will be very like not realistic, but that's fine. And then what I want to do is put the sediment here. So I need some white, I guess. This will probably be fine. So what I'll do is just put this down, and then we can figure out where I put the stamp set. We might need that piece. Oh, here it is. Oh, goodness. So many things on my desk. But we're actually pretty okay on time because I think after this, everything is just gluing stuff together. Though I may want to play with the. I may cut some more white paper, but let's get the sentiment that I wanted to use figured out first. which is this one. Just going to stamp it in the middle, I think. Let's see how this lays out. So I think this is going to work out really nicely where we have the sentiment there and Mr. Dude reading there with his coffee. On white and matted and a bunch of other stuff, but you know. So I think all we really need to do is stamp this relatively aligned, and then we can trim it down and be pretty much good to go. Since this is really small type, let's use VersaFine because I think it'll wind up making this readable. We'll see though. VersaFine is always my Declare is always my go-to for sentiments because it seems to do it correctly the first time, which always is nice. And I'm not going to try. I want to be careful to not smush this too much unless it seems to not want to be helpful. And that stamped pretty good. Dreams is a little overstamped, but I kind of don't care because I think that kind of, I don't know, it works with the vibe of the actual sentiment to have the dreams be the focus. At least that's my theory. But I think these little bookends, like those would be cool. I don't think we'll have time to do the back panel, but I will post the back panel. But I think using like bookends on the back would be pretty cool, where the message goes. But let's see if we can get most of the card together. The other nice thing about VersaFine is it dries really fast, which is good if you're me and you're impatient. So I pretty much want to just I think that should be good. I'll take a little more off. Take a little off the top. There we go. That's about how I like it. If you're curious what this says, it says, we all have our time machines, don't we? Those that take us back, our memories, and those that carry us forward, our dreams. From H.G. Wells of The Time Machine, as in the book. And probably a movie, if you're not a book person. I just want to, again, take a little sliver off that. I think we are good. Then we just need to do the same on the sides. That worked quite nicely. I always have a relatively hard time knowing exactly where this is going to cut, but this actually worked out fine. And if this fits, yeah, so you have two options. I tend to just glue it down and then cut it, but we can also just sort of hold this and then sort of guesstimate what dimension we want. If you freehand cut things, for better or worse, the odds of you like cutting it at a weird measurement are pretty high. This is actually pretty good. So I think we just need to take a little bit off and we'll be good. That's a little not quite enough, but we will just take another sliver off and then retest it. Hopefully that's not too much. If it is, we'll have to redo it, which would be sad. No, I think that looks quite nice. Except it's upside down, but like that's how it's going to look in the finished card. I think all we really have to do is glue a bunch of stuff together now. So I usually put down my background and the side pieces first. This is generally a card I would use wet glue on because it just makes life easier. Except for the fact that you have to look at like the pretty paper you covered up. But the nice thing about these is since there are 4 of them, I don't really mind it as much as I might if it was like pattern paper that had less than that. So anyway, if you get a little extra glue, you can just wipe it up. Then you can just use whatever flat tool you happen to have to like squeegee the glue out, and this will dry pretty quickly. Ooh, what am I missing? I don't think I've ever tried that. That sounds kind of interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Blossom, if you were part of the conversation about if people put ketchup on their fried chicken or not. That happened, I don't know, repeatedly with it's a Lynn thing that was a thing in her family. And my dad is the one who loves fried chicken in my family, and he's basically just eats it as is. Like he doesn't like doctor it up or anything. But he also doesn't make it. So I feel like if you made your own, you like it might wind up different in terms of seasoning and all that. I don't actually know what goes into fried chicken seasoning, other than it is delightful. So here's kind of our, I don't know. In my brain, these are all whimsical things that the kid reading is thinking of. So like that's why we're in a forest, but still in a library. So now I'm going to glue this at. Oh, that's so pretty. Anyway, I might need more of this paper if I use it up. I need to be more trying to be more mindful this year and not buying a bunch of stuff when I like have a bunch of stuff. But you know, sometimes I just these things that are cool. Now, this does have writing on it, so there is kind of an upside down and right side up. And we can mess with where this falls. I kind of like it so that you can sort of see like the card catalogs behind it. So I think that looks cool. Like I love how this is sort of casting a shadow. I mean, because this is brown and pretty dark. So this is really the only tricky part, which is that you don't want to glue the whole card together. Which I talked about a bit, only because I've done it. So you just pick one side to be flat and one side to not be flat, and then you butt this up carefully. We have some fudge work time with this because we're gluing against a like the glue is applying to the shiny paper, so we have a lot more fudge time than if it wasn't. We are definitely going to have to trim this, and that's just fine. But this should be, and then I usually fold it the other way just to make sure because we want this, and then that happens if you're not paying attention. Let's try that again. What we can do is help it a little bit and just grab it with a clip and grab another clip and just let the glue set for a minute and work on our other stuff. The line coat grabs pretty quickly, but if your paper is shiny and not porous, it does take it a while. Well, not a while, but more time than if it was normal. Oh, and my other cat has come to say hi. He is investigating one of the many piles that was created from Craft Roulette. Good. Would you like to say hello to folks? Oh, don't paw on the plastic. He likes to paw plastic. It's really quite interesting. So I think I want this over here. I don't know. So like we could. I think this will be okay. We'll see. If I pop this again, I'll just add more glue. We do have a little bit hanging here, so let me grab my scissors and see if we can't just Just trim that off a little. Okay. I'm not going to try and just going to sort of leave this as is and not futz with this in case the glue is still setting. But originally I had thought to have like some books over here and then the sentiment. And then sort of balance that, we have our dude over here just reading. We'll just sort of sit him basically like on the edge and make sure he doesn't fall. But I don't think I need the book here. I think this just looks pretty cool like this. Because you see that he's sort of imagining all the jungleness. So I think I like it better without. So we're going to run with that. And the sentiment, because it's on a panel, is kind of, I don't know. Seems like it pulls a lot of visual focus. Whoop. And let's try and keep it straight. You can, of course, use dry adhesive. This would be a place you could totally use dry adhesive. I just get a little, when I'm putting the actual card together, I like to use wet glue in case I want to move it around. So I'm going to glue him down. And I really don't need glue on this side of his head, even though I just put some there, because it's basically floating anyway. So I just want the books to line up with the edge. I want him to be sitting on the ground, as it were. And then you can't float his head. I put a little glue on the back of his head. You could pop him up too, but we'll see. If he sticks, he sticks. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It'd be totally fine either way. But that is our Unvalentine's Day card. There we go. Thanks, Danny. And we have exactly 2 minutes to say thank you for coming. And I will definitely be back on Sunday. And also Thursday is Also Inspired Day. And we are being inspired by Karen's Crafting Company. So that's a video that will be going up this week. And I don't think I have anything else to tell you in terms of scheduling things. Let me see. Oh, thanks. What did I miss? Oh, yes. Yeah, so the if you want to see really cool stuff with Scrappy Boy, Danny and Timothy Thomas are the two people on the design team I would follow. I mean, the whole design team is great, but I would say Danny and Tim are the ones who most frequently get me to buy things. But they've started doing ephemera, which is nice, especially if you're on team not a fan of coloring, because the ephemera basically does most of the work for you. But I'm going to end so that we can all bounce over to Shanna's stream, and I will talk to you guys there as soon as I grab myself a snack. Have a great one, and I will talk to you next week.